Happy New Year, everybody. It is Thursday night. Time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and in the co-host seat, dual co-host, how do I say that? Co-host and co-host of co-host, the assistant to the regional manager, Matt and Aaron, a.k.a. Peace Treasures. How are you guys?
Doing good.
We're fantastic.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here, and Happy New Year. So so Matt and Aaron are both co-hosts and guests tonight, so it's just the three of us hanging out. So let's get right to it. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. Okay, so the boys have been on many, many times. So I was like, all right, I'm not even going to worry about matching up to them. But New Year and how I ended the old year is my birthday is December 30th. So thanks a lot, Mom.
Thanks.
You know, I think I've told a story before, but I actually lived the movie 16 Candles. No one remembered my 16th birthday because everyone was getting ready for New Year's Eve.
Oh, no.
And I got to work at 3:30 that day. And finally, a waitress said, "Oh, happy birthday." She was the first person to wish me happy birthday that day. So. But a friend of mine in Arizona, because that's where we spent my birthday, gave me this new Ranza Kappa Edición Negra, which I had not had yet. So I was very excited about that.
Ooh.
And we spent time at Undertow, one of the best tiki bars in the country. Mm-hmm. And so for those of you who don't collect tiki mugs yet, I wanted to show you the difference between a tiki mug and an amazing mug. So at the barest essence, this is a tiki mug. It is the most pathetic, crappy accoutrement tiki mug ever, but still it's a tiki mug. This is a piece of art.
Yes. Oh, so shiny.
And that's from Undertow, the bar in Phoenix. That's where I spent my birthday. So I figured it was all very appropriate. That I would assume most of you probably wouldn't even think is a tiki mug and maybe not even pay attention to it, but that is an amazing, amazing piece of art. So cheers.
Who made that one?
Tiki Diablo.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
What are you guys drinking?
So I decided I haven't tried it yet. Well, now I am. When I went to the Reef in Palm Springs, I got Dark Arts rum that they made, and I just have it with Coke. And I've been watching the Book of Boba Fett, and they mentioned Jabba a lot, so I decided it's so heavy. I'm gonna put this down, and I should be using 2 hands.
And you guys know
good.
I'm Y'all's DD for tonight, so I am drinking some iced tea, but out of a very beautiful sculpted mug. This is the tiki. No, what is it called?
Cat Magic Punks.
Cat Magic
Something like that.
From Diablo.
Very nice.
Little Illuminati, so she's pretty.
Yeah, the artists who make the mugs have really taken it to a level that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I've got a skull too, so that matches yours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we were in Phoenix for my birthday for a couple of reasons. We've done the Vegas New Year's Eve for 16 years, and it's a bunch of rookies. So I'm like, let's get away from Vegas. Plus, we have a new house in Phoenix, so like, let's go hang out there, and there's great bars and great friends. And so, it was just, let's do it. So we did it.
Nice.
That's why we were there. All right. So we are talking about goals tonight. And this is called part 2. If you didn't see Mom and I a couple of days ago, that was essentially part 1. So when you get a chance, go back and watch Selling Past Your Expiration Date, Being Thrifty Over 50. And we're going to talk about numbers tonight and more so expansion too. So, but we have all our normal stuff. And since we were off for a couple of weeks, so many things to pick from. Today, I was like, I don't even know what to show. I wanted to show like 72 sold CDs, but I didn't want to do a 4-hour show. So I did definitely curtail it. And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Oh, this is cute. Oops.
Yes. It's very us. This is a Sippin' Santa, Beach Bum Berry Sippin' Santa, the Christmas pop-up. We've talked about it a lot on this show. We found out via the Instagram of Sippin' Santa. Oh, sorry, the dog.
Oh my, someone's excited.
He's excited. We found out that a lot of bars weren't selling them this year, and ours was. So we have sold 18 of them. Now, this was the highest priced one. Yes, and we learned it all from you, so thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
For the spike of Q4 sales. Some of them at the beginning we sold for about 80, 90, but most of them were like 105, 125. It's awesome. So
Nice job.
yeah.
Well done. Hey, this looks old, is it?
It is not actually. It's about a year and a half old from Cracker Barrel. It sold for 100, and I wanted to feature this because we bought it for $3 to sell eventually. Because I'm like, someone's gonna want this after the fact. So I got one for me, one to sell. And the cool thing is, I'm a part of a mid-century Facebook group called Mid-Century Modern Kitchen. I love it, and they were saying, these eBay sellers, you know, like just thinking they can get $100 for this. And someone ended up going to our page because of that post and buying it. So
they're talking shit about you, although they don't know they're talking shit about you specifically.
Yeah.
And because of their post, you got the sale. Did you go back and say, and thank you?
No. I just kind of smiled on my way to the bank. Just waiting for me.
That's the best.
So I've seen a lot of people talk about Fisher Price. It really does sell the little people. I got this recently. It sold for 78, I think, and no, 70. And it sold within a week. And it's even missing a few little tiny pieces, not important pieces like a reindeer, but like the North Pole sign or something. And yeah, we also sold the Nativity one. Now that one was listed for over a year, and we ended up getting way less than we wanted for it. But this one sold right away for good money. It was probably $5.
Nice job. And hey, now I was prepping the show. I'm like, where's the model that usually does things like this?
That was actually taken before the modeling day started.
Oh, okay.
It had been up for a little while before I got signed contract. You know.
I was so happy to who it finally sold to. This lady said her husband in the 80s and 90s wore it, and she donated it without his permission, and he's been looking for it for 15 years. So he finally found it, and that's why I love eBay. Those are the kind of stories we love. So
yeah, that's always the best when it finally gets to that right home.
Yeah.
All right, so the boys just showed some $100 items, $65 items. I'm going to start with a $17 item, and you might be thinking, geez, Jay, you've had 3 weeks of scores. This is the best you could come up with? Yes, because it's absolute trash. It's an empty bottle of tequila. So when you're at that party and you're walking out the door and there's an empty bottle of tequila on the table, take it with you, because at some point it'll turn into $17 plus shipping. Now, not every bottle does that. It's just the fancier ones, the more expensive ones. And like 4 different people over the last 6 months yelled at me about selling empty bottles. Like, you're not getting the whole tequila. There it is. $17. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I sold trash. And
where did you sell that on?
That was the Bonanza.
Oh, okay.
Another one of my videotapes sold $76 for VHS videotape of Predator, which there's millions of them, but this one is sealed. So another nice little sale from the big collection I bought. And how about this? I picked up this Ralph Lauren army jacket. Now, the jacket was in the rack, and all I saw was this. And so I just thought, you know, there is a market for regular army clothes. It's not huge because there's so much of it. Mm-hmm. And whatever reason, something in my brain said, hey, look at the rest of that jacket. And when I saw the cadet's name of R. Lauren, I'm like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
And, I picked this up for $25. Let's get to the tag here. I had the hidden hood. There it is. And it is on its way to Russia for $175.
Yay.
Very nice.
Yes. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like a bonus tip. Don't always take everything at face value. Look a little deeper. If you just saw the American flag, you might think, just an army jacket. But man, that thing in my brain, that thrifting sixth sense, you should probably look a little deeper. And it was only listed for a month. So that was a nice quick turn of $25. And I have a huge tiki mug collection. I love my collection, but it's always fluid. Things come in, things go out. And when things go out, sometimes it's because I notice an uptick of the worth. So Oceanic Arts was the store in Whittier, California, which is near LA, where you get all your thatch and matting and tiki war clubs and stuff like that. Well, the guys, Bob and Leroy, who owned it for 65 years, a book came out about them and they retired all on the same day. So all of a sudden, people want stuff. And I saw this mug skyrocket, which I had paid $65 for back in 2006, and sold it this week for $325.
Oh man,
That's a nice mug.
Now, I like the mug. It's great, but I also like $325 because I've got like 30 mugs that need space on the shelves. I don't have any space. So 29 other mugs need to go. So this was a good start, $325.
Very nice. Ooh.
And where am I? I am. Hold, please. There we go. And now it's time for our CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start with flipping cassettes. Now, I did this last year at the end of the year. Do you believe? I want to see some hands in the air. I want to see some hallelujahs in the chat. If you aren't looking at cassettes yet, I'm going to blow your effing mind right now. You ready? Are you boys ready?
Yes, preach it.
All right, look. Jetson soundtrack was listed for 3 hours, $20. Is that amazing?
Amen.
3 hours.
That's not even my good sale. So you're going to believe a little harder. How about this Grease soundtrack, which you know has sold in the millions?
I was going to say
$35, but wait for it. They needed it next day. So with tax and shipping, they paid $50 for the Grease soundtrack. Do you believe?
Hallelujah.
But wait, there's more. I saw this in an ad for an estate sale that I was late to.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the ad at 3:30 on the first day of the sale. I'm like, shit, or 2:30. Ran right over, and I saw this in the ad. Ended up buying a bunch of cassettes and CDs, and I've already sold a ton and made a ton of money. And then this sold this week. Van Halen, greatest hits, $50. Do you believe? And yes, these are all used.
Praise the cassette.
Okay. That is $100 in 3 used cassettes. If you haven't taken up the thought of flipping used media yet, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. I really don't. How many have I shown? And there's still people who go, nah. No, nah. No, nah. It's awesome. And did the boys sell a CD? And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. I don't even know what this is.
Yay! It went to Spain. How fun is that? I need to get into the CDs even more this year because you'll see in our goals, I have a certain goal in mind, and these don't take up a lot of space. So I've only, flipped CDs a few times. Gone out just to do CDs. Yeah. And the fact that it just went to Spain is so cool. So it was probably $1.
Love that. Love that. All right, here's what I love even more. I circled the date on this one. Look when I sold the Hollywood Trombones Christmas.
I love that.
$50. I sold it at 2:00 on Christmas Eve. So, of course, they weren't getting it till the 27th or 28th. And look what I paid for it. 95 cents.
I love that. I love that.
$50. 50. Well, wait, that's not the good one. Ooh. All right, this is Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, anime thing. They just had a live action show on Netflix. They got canceled after 1 season. Too bad. This sat on Amazon for 2.5 years. It's like a Debbie thing, and didn't sell. Moved it over to eBay. Sold in like 3 weeks. Took a best offer of $65. I paid $10 for it, so that was a pretty good sale. Oops, I'll get back to that in a second. Okay, in this little box set is 5 classic Heart CDs. There's no extra tracks. There's nothing that fun and exciting about it. It's just 5 of their CDs in a box. $75. I paid $8.99 for it. But wait, you will believe when you see a 1-song Mariah Carey single for $100. Do you believe?
I believe in the power of Mariah.
Do you believe? I mean, I have so many amazing souls from the last 3 weeks of music. It took me really a long time to figure out what to share with you and why to share it. I mean, it's been the last 3 weeks, probably $2,000 in used media.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. So if you want to add that to your bottom line, that's why you take my classes, because I can get you to believe.
Amen.
And I somehow skip my records.
Ooh,
Now, this one I posted in the thrifting board because I said to the world, world, is it impossible for me to believe that no one has ever sold this record? Because I did my due diligence of searching eBay and Terapeak and Discogs and Amazon, and there were no solds, which seems impossible.
Yeah.
From a record that came out about 5 years ago, and it's a pink colored vinyl from the Violent Femmes. So I put it up for $150. Shortly after a lot of us discussed it, 2 people found solds. The album is called Two Mics and the Truth, and the 2 solds didn't have the words Two Mics and the Truth in the title. And I'm like, what? What? So I took a best offer of $100. So knowing that it's out there just poorly listed, but I only spent $10 on it at Zia Records, and I sold for $100. So even when you can't find things, pick a price and then figure out if you get a good enough offer, and then maybe you like it. I loved it. $100 is fine with me.
Heck yeah.
And am I forgetting something?
Hey, wait! Hold up! Don't forget about me!
Whoops! Now it's time for Stacy's Budget Bin Scores. This one is sweet because look, it was $4, and then it was on the sale 2 for $1. So this was 50 cents bin. 50 cents.
Some provenance.
Yeah. And so and Stacy, when she works the budget bins, she doesn't know most everything she pulls out. It's always weird stuff. I don't even know what P Hux is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know? I don't
No.
know. But Stacy turned that 50 cents into $19 for me. So, I love that my wife really does it well in the budget section. So thank you, honey.
Good job, Daisy.
Good job.
But not everything is good. And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. Now, first off, nice job, Mark. Mariah promo for $200.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And Pam, I'm sorry to hear that you've been illin. Get well, and then once you start watching them, let me know if I can help you with anything.
Yeah. Our duds.
So this has to be the lowest we've ever sold an item, and it was not even $520. It was $425. When this was from under our sink, so no big deal. But I'll talk about it in a minute. We were doing some soap retail arbitrage at Ollie's, and I'm like, we have this under the sink, and the solds, I'm telling you, were way higher. So, it is what it is. It's out of here. Someone's happy. Maybe
I will, even though it's not my dud, I will admit I sold a CD today for, okay, you will believe this one. If you didn't believe before, $2.39.
Ooh, just get it out. Get away.
Get it out. So every once in a while, there's a dud in there. So,
Oh.
Yes. So this is, Henry had to make an appearance. He's the needy one. Sorry about that. Oh, there he is. There you go, bud. When we start talking to the computer screen, he gets concerned. This was a good sale. I mean, we sold it for $58, but it's more of the purpose of it. We're not really going to use Build-A-Bear as an arbitrage anymore. We tried it a few times because we saw solds for this way higher. And so we kind of ended up selling it a year later for what we bought it for. So
the thing with Build-A-Bear is they're very aware of the market. And when they first released the Animal Crossing plushes, they sold out instantly. They were like the special edition Crocs. So we were like, oh yeah, we're going to grab this and it's going to sell so hot. And they knew about it. And so they made a ton more on the second repeat.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
That's a bummer.
Oh,
but you educate yourself. You're like, okay, I get what they're doing now. And so I'm moving on to something else.
Right.
Okay, here's a dud on my staff. So so she goes to pull Mike Hurd, and she goes, there is no Mike Hurd in our records. And I go, it has to be there. Has to be. She goes, we have a Mark Hurd. And I'm like, which one of my team decided to change Mark's name to Mike? So could have been why it sat around for quite a while.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's Mark's younger brother who didn't make it in music. So, this shows you when you have people help you, even though I kind of glance at everything that goes live, we list so much stuff, things slip through like wrong name. Now, I've shared this dud before. Alfred Shaheen's an amazing designer and dressmaker and Hawaiian shirt maker and usually sells well. And I've got this on like, I don't know, 422 different platforms. And I can never, I think it's a gorgeous dress. I can't sell this dress. I cannot sell this dress.
Ooh.
I love the pose of the mannequin, though.
Yeah.
You would think that would sell the dress.
Yeah.
So if anyone's looking for a Shaheen vintage 14 with the belt, I will happily cut you a sweet ass deal.
It's gorgeous.
I'd wear it.
Yeah. I don't, this is one of the ones, I've been selling a long time. This one stumps me. I don't understand why no one likes this dress. I just don't. And now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
Yay! So I love company advertising. So I was sad to see this go for so little. It only went for $10, but it went to Russia. So that made it even cooler. So I'm like, okay, I'll give that to Russia. And yeah. I don't even remember the town, Novosibirsk, something like that.
No, hang on, Debbie. Leave her little comment up there. It's funnier. Take out floral and ass. I'm like, we had ass in the title?
Oops. Throw that in.
Host, just put it on Etsy. Yeah, I'll do all that. Now, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say, the last time we sold something to Russia, it was this cute little Garfield plushie, and we put it as one of our duds on Thrifty Business because it, got lost. So this was something redeeming, okay, I don't know. Something about it was redeeming.
Now, the funny thing was, I was about to use the Ralph Lauren jacket to Russia, so it would have been weird that we both had Russia, and I don't remember the city. Might have been the same city. But then I thought this was so more apropos. Now, look, it's understandable that someone in Russia likes Pepsi. Pepsi, Coke, they're worldwide. In a small town of only 1,400 called Eglinton near Perth, Australia, someone needed an Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers jersey. That's the one blowing my mind.
What? Okay.
And a dude my size, well, I guess it could be a girl, because that was my jersey, 3XLT. But I'm like, dang, that is going a far way away from people who pay attention to American football.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the reason we do the segment. If you're not listening internationally, you don't realize someone needs to give you $80 for a used football jersey in outside of Perth, Australia. That's why we do it. Someone in Russia needed a Pepsi cup.
They absolutely had to have it.
They had to.
Yeah.
And they had to come to eBay and find us to get those items.
So fun.
And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. Rum bottles.
My Photoshop. All right, so our shipping tip. Aaron actually came up with this. We got a heavy-duty 12-page Amazon shredder, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because we had such a surplus of Amazon boxes and just boxes that we didn't want to use because they were branded, but they were still good boxes. And we're all guilty of it's still a good box.
Oh, hell yes, we are.
So what we started doing is using the shredder to shred them. And, you get the little bird's nest kind of material coming out of it and using it as packing material. It's a great void filler for things that you're not too concerned about weight because it does have a hefty amount of weight. But we've also been using it in our storage tubs at the bottom because when you store things, it keeps them from bouncing around and it's a little safer. And you're not throwing away those boxes. And
very eco-friendly. And of course, we have to make the disclaimer, don't use your food boxes, any old cardboard. This is like Amazon boxes that you have 20 million of and, just any regular cardboard. So,
by the way, this is good.
If
anyone wanted to know, it is really yummy.
Nice.
That's a great tip. I should. I got a shredder. I should do that.
Yeah,
and it's really satisfying to shred all.
Yeah,
and just go one piece at a time. Just watch it.
So 2 weeks ago, not that it was a huge argument, but someone said there wasn't tracking door to door for Norway, and I thought there isn't. And so I use pirate ship because it's way cheaper. And we're not going to get into that because we talked about that many times. But I happen to see the list today of all days. And these are all the countries that has door-to-door shipping. So from my door to the Russian door, or the Norway door, or the Japan door, or Lebanon. Now, of course, this is 55 countries. Of course, there are more than 55 countries in the world. But if you look at this list, it is a majority of the places we ship stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Italy's even on there. That's our problem child. That's on there.
Mm.
So, if you're not using pirate ship yet, you should be, because you can ship on your own. If you can ship to Maine, you can ship to Spain. And Spain's got tracking right to the door, just like Maine does. So start using pirate ship and save money. And we'll talk about it probably next week. Some of the rates are going up like postal rates do, but some are going down.
Yeah, that's exciting.
We've only sold to Italy like once. What? Why is it the problem child? I'm just wondering because I don't remember.
They have a crap postal system, and it's been crap since I started 22 years ago, and it really hasn't gotten much better. Things just disappear.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying they're getting stolen, but they just disappear.
Right.
So it happens. But people who sit around all day going, okay, I need to exclude this and that. Who got time for that? I just ship everywhere. If something gets lost, it gets lost. I've had stuff lost to California. I've had stuff lost to Italy. Lost is lost. It happens. I move on. That's just part of business. Part of business, there is loss in business. It's not all in the plus column.
Right.
True story.
Yeah, that is a true story. True story.
Well, that wasn't a good note.
And now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outsourcing.
I thought the camera was off. Sorry about that. So our thrifty tip is, I love this Photoshop. Thank you, Debbie.
Great job, Debbie.
When we go to estate sales and even sourcing at thrift stores and stuff, oftentimes we'll find heavier items like plates and dishware and stuff like that, and they never have sturdy boxes for us, and you don't want to carry them out in plastic bags. So we like to keep a laundry hamper or a sturdy box in the trunk of the car, plus some bubble wrap, which Debbie conveniently put Bubble Fast on there, which is a great place to order it from. And, some tissue, anything that is going to help you get that stuff home and maintain its quality.
Because so many times I'm like, man, I wish we had a box in the car, So
or they'll run to the back and have some jankety box that the bottom's falling out, and they'll start loading it up for you, and you're like, oh god. So that's what we like.
We added. There was a guest about a year ago that had a tornado tear through her house, and the only thing that was saved was her eBay stuff because it was in those heavy duty black tubs with the yellow lids.
Yeah.
And so I finally bought two. I don't know why it took me so long. And they're in the back of the bed of my truck. And when I'm buying and sourcing, everything goes in there. And I do have a covered bed, but it's not hermetically sealed. So the other day it was pouring rain, and there was some moisture on top of those tubs, but those tubs are sealed so tight that everything inside it was good.
Nice.
So I'm mad at myself. I didn't have those tubs in my bed or in your trunk already. Like, damn, I should have been using these all along. You're right. Keep some packing material. And I did put the link to Bubble Fast in there because they're good friends with the show. They've been taking care of the online selling community for 100 years, I think, maybe 102. And then the discount is Jason Thrifts will save you 10% off your order. You do have to order on their website. You cannot use that discount code on eBay. So keep that as a heads up.
We've been using Bubble Fast too, and we love them. We absolutely love them. So
okay, so I tried an experiment, something I'd never done before, and I thought, let's try something. So this is a rare CD I showed a couple of weeks ago. I bought it out of a record store that said we didn't get anything new in, but they did. They didn't realize it. I paid $4, sold it for $76. So Stacy and I go to Amoeba Records in Hollywood on Christmas Eve, December 23rd, 90 minutes before they close, and I thought, is there anything good left in the Christmas section?
Oh, there is.
Christmas Eve. So look what I found in the budget section. This rare out-of-print CD that Amoeba should have known is a good CD for $2.99. And I rang out at 8:59 p.m. They closed at 9 o'clock. So there's me ringing out. I spent $383 that night on a bunch of CDs. And I got $80 of it back within a day. This sold on Christmas Eve.
Worth it.
For $3. So next year, I am Christmas CD shopping on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. I love it.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about hustle in kind of correlation with your goals for next year. That we're gonna circle back to this CD coming up. So
Cool.
keep this in your brain.
Saved.
Locked and loaded. And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. It doesn't matter if you're selling on Etsy, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, or eBay. These are little tips and tricks to help you when you're selling. Okay, so who made this graphic?
Debbie.
Debbie did.
Okay, because usually I know what's going on. I have no clue.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Okay, I'm glad she did this. Okay, so what we're talking about is the left digit effect. When you're pricing your items on any platform, the left digit effect is basically the theory that shoppers will only look at the numbers on the left of the decimal. They're not paying a whole lot of attention to the numbers on the right. So when a consumer sees $80, they'll think that's too expensive. When they see $79.99, they'll think, oh, that's a cheaper item. I'm going to buy that, even though it's basically the same price. So when you're pricing things, just keep that in mind that the consumer is looking at the left numbers, not so much the right numbers.
I got that part. It's the lower part I didn't get.
Oh, no, I got you. So also, to that same extent, there's a thing called an anchoring effect. And basically, when a consumer sees an item that is, let's see, $189.99, and it's just that, they'll think, that might be too expensive if that's the only one. If they see the same item that's listed at $500 but at 62% off, which equals $189.99, they're more likely to buy that item because they feel like they're getting a better discount because they're looking at the anchored price, which would be $500. So basically what we're saying here is keep in mind your sales, enacting sales, a 10% sale, 20% sale on your platforms, because that really helps the consumer feel like they're getting a good deal out of things. And it also helps you kind of, push those items forward. And with the last digits being 99, it's also a really good way to keep track of every time you edit an item's price. You can just change it down one number. So first time I list something, it's $79.99. If I need to change the price, I'm going to lower it down to 68. I'll do 68.98. That way I know every time a number goes down on the right side, I've edited it 1 or 2, 3 times.
I've told this in the past, but I'll tell it again. When I worked at a Domino's in Mayfield Heights, Ohio, there was a national coupon that was actually 1 penny. The coupon was 1 penny more expensive than our normal price. And I would try and tell people that, and they insisted on using the coupon. I go, it actually costs you 1 penny more. I want to use the coupon. I had that conversation at least 5 times a week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They want to feel like they're using a coupon. I'm like, all right.
I love it.
All right. So, do you believe you should have free returns?
Amen.
Do you believe? Now, I know y'all might believe in media by now with all my preaching, but I know someone in the chat right now is like, nope, screw returns. And I'm here to tell you, you gotta believe, because let me show you what happened. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you guys sitting down? Okay.
Are you sitting down?
Yes.
You're good.
Okay. So on December 18th, I sold this CD, which is sealed, for $35. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I had seen one sell the same CD, same sealed, with the same sticker that says this package contains 2 CDs, sell for $100 in the last year. So that's why I asked for $100. Now it's December 18th. We are 7 days away from Christmas. Someone finally throws me a bone at $35. I only paid $1. So I'm like, I'll take it. You know what they told me on Christmas or Christmas Eve? Whoops, we have this one already. Can I send it back?
Yeah.
I have 60-day free returns. Absolutely. But of all the times I get a return, I'm like, the hell am I going to do now? Like, I'm going to get it back after Christmas.
Yeah.
Hey, look what sold on January 4th for $70.
Hey.
Okay. So are returns a bad thing? Hell no. I doubled what I sold this CD for after Christmas.
That's awesome.
You made more money. Yeah.
So me taking that return put more money in my pocket. And that's always the way to do it. Up the price when you get your item back.
Yeah. We've had in the past year at least 3 items that were returned for not our fault reasons, and then they sold higher. So it pretty much always happens.
Now, I sell used Christmas music. I sell used clothes. I sell used bras. I sell used purses. All kinds of stuff. You know how many, and I do 60-day free returns. You know how many returns I had in the last 6 weeks? I think 3. That's it.
Yeah.
And so all these whiners in the other Facebook groups, certainly not the Thrifting Board or the Secret Beach, whining and crying, they're not selling well. They're not doing it right. They're not. I've had 4 returns. That's low. I sold over 400 items in December at 4 return 1%. That ain't nothing.
Yeah,
but look at this return. I doubled my price, doubled it.
Our return rate is way under 1%. So it's worth it. Just do it. Take it.
Yeah. So take your returns. Take them. Absolutely. That's part of business. I will not buy from you. If I'm looking at your listing and it says no returns, I move on. And I'm not the only one who does that.
It feels shifty. It
does. And if you don't believe enough in you, your product, and your service, I ain't giving you my money. Simple as that.
Amen.
Simple as that. All right. Where are we? We are right. And now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season? Of course someone needed this in January.
Yeah. I mean, I think about Halloween all year for real. And yeah, it was just, I mean, Peanuts is very saturated. So it was a fun, sale. And okay, I thought it went to another country, but it didn't. So yeah, Halloween in December. January.
Yep. I even got you beat because here's what sold today. Under Bocelli Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Who is thinking about Christmas now? Like Christmas music. And again, this was $4 in the budget bin for $2, and I sold it for 12. Not a huge sale, but I knew that $2 could turn into 12. I thought it would turn into 12 next Christmas. I think it would turn into 12 this week, but okay, cool.
Right.
So it happens. Do not stop listing your holiday things. That's why we do this segment.
Yep.
Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're angry, and sometimes they're just plain weird. Now it's time for the feedback of the week.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So what'd you do wrong?
Try the arbitrage soap. Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, God. So let me take that part because that was all me. I tried to pull a Bridget and go to Ollie's, and I loaded up my car with all these soaps that had lots of solds really high. And these soaps were only 99 cents. And I'm like, worst comes to worst, I'll use the soap. And so we sold it finally. And by the way, none of the other soaps have sold. So we gave a lot of it away for Christmas, and they loved it. So yeah, it's good to arbitrage things that you could actually use. But anyways,
both of our parents got some soaps for Christmas.
And brother and mother.
So anyways, this item, we did sell these 3, and we shipped it, and it leaked in the box. One of them.
I kind of figured that's what was going to be the case.
Yeah. And I mean, they were screwed on tight. I don't know what happened, but they leaked in the box to the point where the box basically disintegrated. Ooh. We had them. Luckily, they were like wrapped in plastic, like we're supposed to do, and all that. But she emailed us like right away and was like, "This is really unacceptable. Like I would have expected these to be blah blah blah." She was upset, and we totally understood. And I immediately apologized. And hi, Mom. Immediately apologized and refunded her right away. Sorry, that was Sheila in the comments.
Hi, Mom.
We refunded them like right away, probably within 2 minutes of getting that email, and responded back. And sure enough, they came back into the comments, gave us a positive review, and said there was a problem with my order when it was delivered, but seller went far beyond expectations to make it right. And now they feel like they can trust us and will shop with us again. So we took something that could have been just made us look terrible, and we looked great from it. So, yeah.
Hey, your mom's in the chat. Where's your brother? Where's your twin?
I don't know, Andrew. You better get on.
We should call him.
I haven't seen him because he's a very he's a good chatter in the comments. So. All right, I thought this one was extra special because they actually didn't leave me a feedback, which of course we all want the actual feedback, but they took time to message me. And when you get that thing from Amazon going, a customer sent a message, you're always like, oh no, what's it gonna be?
Yeah.
And they sent a message to say, thank you for selling your product exactly as it was described. It was a pleasure doing business with you. I'm very happy. So I'm thinking maybe older customer who doesn't realize this isn't leaving feedback.
Oh,
But the fact they took time to write me that note, no matter where it came from, that touched me.
yeah.
Because it also tells me they've gotten stuff that wasn't how it was described. So now they've had a positive shopping experience with me. And,
And so often you get the loud customers that are upset. Those are the ones that are always making noise. And you don't get a lot of loud, excited customers. So it's nice to hear them. Because there's a lot more of those than there are the negatives. We just forget.
Yep. All right. So I got one more that we're going to talk about our goals. I actually had a... There it is. And now it's time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty Kind. So cool. I sold this record on Macari for $21. Not so cool. I sold it on eBay 2 weeks ago and forgot to take it off of Macari.
Oh no!
Yes.
I hate when that happens.
So this is when. So I sold it. It's when Stacy and I were in Phoenix, and part of Phoenix, we were hitting all the record stores looking for the after Christmas sale on music. That's where that Andrea Bocelli came from. And we're standing in a record store, and Stacy goes, "Well, we should probably check, see if they have one." Now this is from a record store day 2 years ago. So I'm like, "There's no way they have one."
Nice.
So we look at the one record store we happen to be standing in. They have one. Now look, it was $30. It sold for $21. Now I was going to buy it no matter what, because it isn't about the loss of money. It's about keeping your metrics good, but more importantly, keeping the buyer happy. Because when we screw up soap, selling something we don't have, and if we don't take care of it, that person isn't pissed at Matt and Aaron or Jason. That person's pissed at Macari as a whole or eBay as a whole. And then we all lose that customer because they're like, screw eBay, screw Macari. But my wife is awesome because she goes, don't you have some points? So one of the things I teach in my CD classes is a lot of record stores have freaking buyer programs. And this one happens to have every dollar you purchase, you build up these points, and then you can use these points to take half off. So I had points enough to take half off. So it's really only cost me $15.
That's perfect.
Thanks to my wife thinking about smart things that I wasn't thinking about. In fact, they had one. I was able to keep the customer happy and take care of what I should have taken care of. I should have got rid of it, but it all worked out.
Yeah. Thanks, Stacy.
But the fact that we're in a record store when we realize I've screwed up and they have one,
that's the stars looking out for you.
That's pretty much a thrifty encounter right there. All right, so where are we at? Little housekeeping. Oh, do you guys have a YouTube channel too?
We do, as a matter of fact. You can come check us out over on YouTube at Pete's Treasures. We'll talk about it in our goals in a little bit, but we just hit 600 followers, so we're doing great. Thank you. We'd love to have you come over. We're updating content constantly, and it's just growing.
It's been really fun. We'd love for you to subscribe and just check out our videos. We have a mixture of things. We do a lot of thrift hauls where we show what we buy to flip. So yeah, that's worth it alone. We show a lot of bolos on there.
Yeah. And then this little flyer is for Pop Shop Live. We do 2 live sales every week on Wednesdays and Fridays on the Pop Shop Live app. If you aren't familiar with it, you can download the Pop Shop Live app on your Apple phone, on the Apple Store, or on Google Play, and come check it out. It's basically a QVC for resellers, and it's a lot of fun. We do trivia nights on Wednesdays now, so you can come play trivia, win some prizes, shop. It's a lot of fun.
And there's a lot more sellers on there now. So and they're adding to the app every day. So you can swipe through and see other people selling, and they have free shipping Fridays, and that's really cool because we do free
Who
shipping.
doesn't love free shipping?
Amen.
Exactly, and there's many sellers doing free shipping. So
yeah, Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Central. And if you have not signed up for the app, when you sign up, you can use code PETE'S. That doesn't give us anything, but that just gets you in on our watch list, so you'll be notified when we have shows. Pete's Tea, like Pete.
All right, so Mom and I are talking about this Sunday winter sourcing. Now it doesn't affect me because I live where we don't have really winter. It's cold but not snowy. But for those of you who are stuck on the 95 for 27 hours the other day, you don't want to go out and source. How do you source? If you need to source, not all of us need to source. So we're going to talk about winter sourcing. And Mom did something totally on her own. Like, all suddenly she's like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this and doing that and doing that. I'm like, I didn't teach you that. Like, talk about an old dog can learn new tricks. Like, she went out and did this all on her own, and it's worked out very well for her pocketbook. So I can't wait to talk about that on Sunday, because nothing tickles me more than my mom just going out on her own and trying something new, and it worked. I'm like, yay, mommy.
Yeah, good job.
And our guest on Thrifty Business next Thursday, who's in the chat, or he was in the chat, John Davis, wanted to talk about using the tools eBay provides. We're going to talk about a lot of them, but Terapeak's a big one, because just today, again, in the thrifting board, and I don't understand this, someone said, what's Terapeak? And they weren't a new seller. And so I'm shocked that, because we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's free to every single eBayer. And for someone to still go, what's Terapeak? I am shocked. So we're going to have a whole show about using the tools that eBay provides. John's a member of the thrifting board, the Secret Beach, and always a great participant in the chat on Thursday nights.
Yeah. And there's so many layers to all those things. Even if you think you know about something, there's always something else that's like, oh, you can actually do this and this too. So
yep,
that'd be a good show.
All right, so let's talk about goals, because I am a firm believer in, if you don't write them down, if you don't put them in front of your face, you could achieve them, but I think it's much better when you do. And I always had goals written down for me. And so we'll talk about my goals in a second, but I wrote them down publicly is a weird word, but out in the middle of the office for my team to see. And they got so jazzed to make sure we hit our goal, because they saw it every day, because we were writing down, okay, we need this much to make the goal. And so I figured I would do that every day. And then I would walk out after shipping's done, and they've already written the numbers down. And I'm like, so they got involved in it too. That's awesome. So I'm like, all right, a new layer of our goals. So we talked about Mom's goals. We went through how she did on her 2021s. She missed two things that literally are sit on the couch and order it on Amazon. So how she went a whole year and didn't push that purchase button, I'm not real sure. But I said, hey, Matt and Aaron, you guys are a married couple who are a team. One of you has a real job, but you both work on this. And so I thought, why don't we see, because you guys are in your 30s, I'm in my 50s, Mom's almost 80. So I thought between from 30 to 50 to 80, that kind of covers the whole audience of my shows and the thrifting board. And so this way, no matter what your age is, you can see how people frame their goals. And so I said, you guys want to talk about it? And they said, yes. And here's their goals. So these were your 2021 goals. Now, did you write them down, or did you just think about them for this show?
No, most of them were things we had planned to do. And I think it's good to set goals, not just really, really high, but attainable things that you can do. And, a goal doesn't always have to be a number. It can be like a step towards making your business grow. So the first thing we wanted to do almost right away, we're like, we need to get our state tax exempt certificate. And I've already started using that. And it saves us 8.25% every time we buy. And I'm like, man, we could have been doing this for several years, So that was a really cool thing to do, because it saved us money.
Yeah, so check with your local state how that works. In Texas, it's a little different than it is in other states. So just check out with your state tax certificate place and figure out how you can do it. It was super.
You scared Matthew. He thought like.
So apparently Matthew didn't watch my show 2 days ago.
No, he didn't. I did. I knew that was coming.
I thought an ad started playing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Because I can when those things come over the screen, I can still see Matt and Aaron, and Matt's look, and then Aaron's laughter was so good.
Oh, you can see me.
I thought that
was even better. I thought it's like my own personal show.
I love that. It was like Liberty Mutual was popping up. And I said, no.
That's so funny, because that's so true.
Okay. Anyway, number 2.
I love the spelling, first of all. No, just kidding.
Oh, shoot. That's all me.
I know. I'm just playing.
Expand your platformers.
Farmers. Our main thing for 2020 was eBay. So we said, okay, because we're fairly new. We started officially in 2019. We wanted a full year of eBay, and we did. So now we're like, okay, we felt comfortable enough to expand. Not like you need to feel comfortable enough, but we really had it down. So yeah, we expanded to Depop and had some pretty good sales. Pop Shop Live, it's new itself, so we experimented with that, and we've been liking it and have pretty good sales on it. And Nadine helped push us to the Poshmark side, and we haven't had sales yet, but we're there.
We're there.
And that's half the battle, just getting started.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we really did expand a lot of our platforms.
Yep.
That's awesome.
We did
And my goal for 2022 is to check my words before I get live. Change websites. Okay, I got that good.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so we originally started with one provider that did our little website, and then we ended up, thank you, Chris. We ended up liking it, but you could also, if we switched to Shopify, we could sync it up with Pop Shop Live and a couple other things. So we decided we were going to make the switch to upgrade our website to Shopify. So now we're not just a web page that you can go to. We're actually a website that you can shop from itself, and this website's helping us with our inventory on other platforms. So that was really a nice, exciting thing to happen, but it's also proved to be very challenging.
Yeah, it's like trying to find the best fit for you, because we had Wix, and it was great. It's just the main thing was us syncing our eBay sales, and that wasn't so great because
Syncing, like getting them together.
Getting them together. And when I noticed, because I would check our website on my phone, and I'm thinking a lot of people are shopping mobily, and it just wasn't what we wanted. So it was finding a better fit, I guess, for us.
That's always been on my to-do list, and I was going to go with Wix, but that's good to hear the pain that you guys went through. Like a guinea pig. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if I ever get around to doing it, I will not go to Wix.
Yeah,
right.
There's so much information out there with people recommending Wix, people recommending Shopify, and it honestly, until you just kind of play with them yourself, you're not going to know which one is going to be the right.
And it might be great for other things. It just wasn't what we wanted. Yeah.
There you go. But we did it.
YouTube 250 subscribers. Okay, those are all good.
You did it.
No, it's weird. My brain was like, "Is that right?" But I'm drinking rum, so that was good. We started YouTube in 2020, and we wanted to achieve 250 subscribers, and we did it in March. So then we did 500, and then we achieved 500 in October. And so we had a little stretch goal of 600.
We just said, maybe
can we get 600? And it happened New Year's Eve, 2 hours before, Texas turned 2020. So.
You did it.
I can't believe that happened right before the clock struck midnight.
Yeah, it was down to the wire. We kept checking.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's a small number, but it's all about growth, So we were happy with it.
Yeah. Oh, there's your twin. You're a little late, Andrew.
He was at a PTA, I think, so he has.
Okay, then he has an excuse.
Okay.
So am I to understand this? You don't want to spend more than $300 a month? Is that what that was?
My name is Aaron, and I source a lot after work to decompress.
Hello, Aaron.
And I'm like, okay, 300 seems like a good number, not just for thrifting, but we did a lot of experiments with arbitrage this year, and I'm like, that seems like a good number. And this is a goal that did not happen.
Oh,
so the point of this
hold on. This will be new to Matthew too. Do you have the actual number? Do you want to share with us?
No. I do have the number total, and you'll see in our 2021.
Okay.
Things opened up more, and I was finding some good stuff. So it just was a goal that didn't happen, but it's okay if you don't meet all your goals.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I was reading the comments on there. So our next goal was setting our antique booth. Do you want to know about that?
Yeah, we are longtime antique, mall fans. Sorry, that was kind of weird. I'm a fan of antique malls, but
We went on our first date at an antique mall.
we did on our
What?
first day. We went
I
to
didn't
an
know that.
antique mall. Yep, and anyways, we wanted to set up one before the pandemic, and we're like, okay, well, now's not a great time. So once things started, opening back up, we said, okay, we've been thinking about this a while. Let's set one up, and we did make it happen. So we'll talk more about it later.
Yeah, and the big thing with that is we had a lot of people that were like, you might not want to do it because you're probably not going to make a lot of money, but we wanted to do the experience. So in our brains, we were like, we understand there's risk to this. It's a business thing, and we wanted to be able to push it out of our brain if we hated it, because every other day was like, what if we had an antique booth?
It was so fun, yeah.
Whoops, I left my mom's in there. Whoops. All right, there we go.
That's my goal too.
All right, so that was 2021. You did pretty good. You hit most.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the new year, 2022 goals. What are they?
You tell us.
Oh, okay. So this is more for me.
Mhm.
I want
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to cut the total amount that I sourced, cut that money in half. And it's not like a strict goal. Some of our goals are, not
Fluid.
I mean, I'm just gonna try. It'll tie into other goals, but like I'm not gonna do it on a month by month basis, because some months we don't find a lot, or we're not thrifting a lot. And sometimes you might go to a place where you cannot pass up the opportunities to source. So I don't want to do it as a monthly budget type thing, but overall I want to spend less on what I buy to turn it into more profit. So
yeah, and I think the big thing with this one is it's not so much about not spending a lot of money or anything like that. It's about finding the quality things and still spending money to make money, but making sure we're really investing stronger, I guess.
yeah.
Stronger instead of just loosey goosey.
Yeah, and I have not been buying loosey goosey.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me. No, I'm just kidding. But we need to whittle down the profit pile. Q4, we were like shipping every day. It was harder and harder to list things consistently every day. So now we have this great profit pile of really good items. And so I just want to whittle that down. I think that's a goal many people have. I just want to whittle it down. Come on.
You and her and him and that couple down there.
You get a profit pie.
We're kind of hoping for some snow days in Texas, because then we can just go shopping in the garage and list.
Mm-hmm. Extra platforms. We want to keep expanding. So we're thinking about going to an app called Whatnot. It's similar to Pop Shop, but different. We don't know about it yet. We want to maybe take that step to Mercari now.
What are you waiting for?
Exactly. So that's like our first one we want to like nail down. And so, yeah, just keep expanding. I think we did a great job in 2021 branching out, and just now we keep going.
Yeah, for sure. So that's it. Yes. This is one of those things that we hear about on the show all the time. Everybody has their favorite cross-listing softwares. And there's so many opinions on them, and how are you going to know until you try them out and they work for you? So that's our goal this year, is to try out at least one or two cross-listing softwares so that we can figure out the best way to make it easy for us.
Yeah, I like the thought of making your work count even more. So the time you spend listing on something, you're paying money for something else to list it somewhere else. I love that idea. We're kind of at the borderline of wanting to get an assistant and not knowing if we really should yet. So it almost seems like the next step to look into cross-listing, like Vendoo, or I know you use InkFrog, right?
Well, no, for cross-listing, I use Cross-Listed. It's the cheapest one. It's kind of the most bare bones, but it gets the job done. So we'll definitely be I'll be demonstrating that on a show coming up.
That would be great. I would love to see more.
Yeah, I am not a fan of List Perfectly. They got some sketchy shit going on, so we're not going to promote them.
Uh-oh.
And hey, Debbie, can you get rid of whatever this is? Can you go to YouTube and kick them out? You.
That's a goal, to keep them out.
Oh yeah, so now we're on a different website and using Shopify. It's kind of tricky, and Matthew can probably speak to this more, but we really need to fine tune it so it's working for us in the best way.
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing is that there's so many new features to this that Wix didn't have. But in that, it's like going into the grocery store for pickles, and there's 500 different types of pickles.
I love pickles.
And you can't decide which one because there's too many options. There's so many different ways you can tweak your Shopify and make it work for you that when you're just one person making your website, it gets a little overwhelming. So that's the goal for this year, is to really fine tune and make sure we're getting our money's worth, because
it's kind of price. I mean,
it was a physical upgrade from Wix,
because you not only pay for the website and the domain, but you're paying
for some
monthly for some apps to use with it. So we just want to make sure it's working for us the best way.
Yeah. Hey,
I think this goal is too low. Look, here's what goals should push you. They should be attainable, but they shouldn't be easy.
See,
I know, but it seems like a lot more to us, because that's almost
that's not even double it. You had 600 going into the new year. At least double it. Come on.
I know it's one of those things where we don't want to like set us up for failure. So kind of like last time we tried for 250 and then we got 500. So then we did a stretch goal. But yeah, I mean, I would love 1 million. Let's do it.
Okay, now you've gone the other way. You went from
I'm setting myself up for failure for 1 million. What can I do?
Okay, Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, whatever.
We'll have a telethon if we need to. Whatever we need to do.
Okay, this one shocked me because we haven't really talked about your booth lately. So I'm like, do tell.
So let's talk about it. So, okay, we were at the point we were doing everything you should do. Rotating inventory.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I'm just kidding. I mean, we bought the smallest booth you had. It was in a great location. Our mall is great. Mm-hmm. And some months were great. Some months were horrible.
But we, at the end of it all, we still came out positive. Like, we didn't go to the negatives at all. But our return profit wasn't really where we wanted it to be. Right. No surprise there. So the idea now is, okay, do we invest in a slightly larger booth where we can actually have more of our high ticket items in there that are, larger and things like that? Or do we just decide that was a fun trip and we're going to shut it down?
Right, because I envision if we get a larger booth, it has way more items to come into the booth. Way more items coming in, which leads you the potential of more things coming out and then more things going back in.
Yeah.
And, one of the thing is we have the smallest one, so you can't walk in it. I mean, you can, but that's all it is, a few shelves. So I want a place you can walk in, and they say if you have a booth that you can circulate, you're more to stay in there longer. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, not you, but other customers will stay in there longer if they can kind of walk around and so anyways, I want to go big or go home. I want to make the decision right now. It's almost like a glorified storage unit, which is great. We need the storage. So yeah, anyways, long story short, I want to go big or go home and then squash it. So.
And then also, thank you so much, Becky. That was really sweet.
Yeah, I want to point out how many different conversations are happening in the chat, because Becky says something that's very important. Kudos for Matt and Aaron, whose goals are based on analyzing what worked, what didn't, and where to grow in 2022, and the wisdom to walk away from something if it's not working. And the exact next comment: do pickles spike with alcohol exist? I want that.
It does. Moonshine.
I love you guys because I love the fact that we're having serious convo. We're having fun convo. I love the chat in my show because you guys are awesome.
It's awesome. And tell them about moonshine.
Oh yeah, there's moonshine pickles. I don't know if they're good. I don't think I want them, but yeah. And I'm seeing some really sweet comments, so thank you guys.
Too funny.
There's also peaches, moonshine peaches.
And so the word just numbers was your number 8.
Just numbers, you know, that's it. Just
we
430,000 pie.
Hit it. We made it. We did it.
Did I miss something, or was it really just numbers?
No, okay. So we put that as a placeholder because we were thinking, like, if we were to put numbers to it, what exactly would we want? And we really don't know. We want, if we were to say just a blanket 5%, that seems reasonable. But it's really still about growing, and we think the sales will follow suit.
Yeah,
if we keep growing on platforms, if we list more, of course. If you don't list it, it doesn't sell. If you, keep refining what you're already doing and then expanding, then the numbers will be there.
Yeah.
So I mean, we really didn't come up with a complete number.
I think we also kind of got in a place where this past year with the pandemic, our second quarter, our Q2 was incredibly high. Like it was larger than Q4s have been because that was when shutdown started and
last year in April or whatever.
Last year, yeah. So in comparing those numbers to an upcoming year that's just a quote unquote regular year, it got a little weird in figuring out numbers. So we're more focusing on just expanding and seeing how the numbers flow from there.
And numbers can be definitely motivating. I'm not knocking that at all. We're just still kind of growing. And as a teacher, I always hate that we have to plan for the whole year because I have 28 different classes that are all different and I get through the goals differently with them. So like what I plan for in September is never what I plan on doing in December. So I like flexibility. So anyways, it was more of a talking point.
Well, and that's why I'm at first I thought you guys were going to have your numbers. And then you said we're more about expanding. I go, okay, I like that. Because mom had hers, which is a kind of a combo of things. Then you guys had yours. And then mine is strictly just a number. So let's talk about mine. And I wanted to share this picture because I'm holding a milkshake and that's all frosting on top of it.
That looks amazing.
So,
that's so
you want to
cute.
see the most calorie milkshake ever?
Yes.
I mean, I'm on a diet now, so I don't want to see it.
Oh.
Oops, I'm going the wrong way. I watched them make that. So they make the milkshake. It was, peppermint for Christmas. That's all sugar on the rim. And then I watched them just make the frosting of the little Santa hat. And those are cookies for the ears. I'm like, yes.
Gosh,
Too cute.
I would tear that up. And I love that tiki bob too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to say that.
All right. So I had one goal. Now, I the things my mom wants to do, some of them, and definitely the things that Matt and Aaron want to do, be more present on other platforms, cross list. I do all those things, and I'm going to increase them all. And I kind of do that naturally, so I don't really have that as a goal. But we did so good in 2020, thanks to COVID. That's so there's the silver lining that I thought, okay, in 21 years, I had my best year ever in 2020. Let's make 2021. Thank you. That was my Princess Christmas hat. Let's make 2021 a better year by increasing my sales by 10%. With this whole pandemic, we had no idea what this year was going to be. And I thought 10% was a good number since I had my best year ever. It seemed attainable, not impossible, but not easy either.
Right.
And then as I been sharing my numbers in the Secret Beach, going into December, I was 20% up for the year. So I doubled my goal going into what should be your best month of the year.
Yeah.
And so my November was kick ass. And I'm like, will this continue? And if it doesn't, I would still hit my goal. I might come in a little under 20, but I would still hit my goal. So going into December, I'm like, all right. So December of 2020, here's my numbers. Now I want to point this out for one reason. For one big reason, there are a lot of YouTubers, there are a lot of coaches, there are a lot of leaders who love to stand up like I do in front of you, this one being virtual, and say, I'm awesome, do this, or buy my course. Do they share their numbers? Do they share their actual IDs? Because I've hunted down a few of them, and a lot of them are full of bullshit. I'll tell you right now. That's my number for December of last year. So what I needed to do this year was I needed $10,325 for my 10% increase. And I so blew the doors off. I mean, it shocked me. And I've been doing this for a long time. I did $16,195.
Okay. All right.
Man.
I did $7,000 more this year than last year.
Nice.
That's great.
And
Congrats.
so with that, I came in 25.4% above last year. Well, that awesome. So I have one goal next year. I want to increase it by 10% again. And so I look at that and I need 11. So I need to do this year's sales, or excuse me, 2021 sales. And I need to add $11,000. Now that might seem like, oh my God, I did this amazing sales. I need to add $900 a month. And then you break it down because sometimes the big number seems daunting. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for the nice comments. $11,000 on top of your best year ever seems crazily daunting. And then you think about it. Okay, it's $900 a month. $900 a month still seems big. Okay, that's $450 in the half of the month. That's $225 extra per week. Now, I sell a lot of collectibles, tiki mugs, videotapes, records, CDs. I sell a lot of $100 items. So an extra $200 items every week doesn't seem that hard to do based on what I sell, what I find, and my past 21 years. I know what I sell. So to add $200 a week isn't that daunting to me based on the things that I find that I have in my profit piles all over an entire house.
Right.
It's not that hard. And so we are 6 days into the month and I'm already way ahead of last January.
Good start.
I've already done 2,200 in the first 6 days.
Yeah.
So it seems obtainable. It should be obtainable, but it should not be impossible, and it shouldn't be easy. If I would have said, I want to increase my sales by 0.05%, that's ridiculous. That's not even a goal. So you've got to have your goals, but you got to break it down and figure it out. Okay, $200 a week, $225 a week isn't hard if we get extra collectibles up. Now I sold a $2 CD today. That ain't helping shit. That ain't helping nothing.
Right.
But I sold a $300 tiki mug this month. I sold a $250 tiki mug today. So keep getting those things up along with the normal stuff I get up. I can obtain this goal by the end of the year. So hopefully 1 year from today, when we have the show again, and it'll be me, Matt, and Aaron, we'll see how we did. And I hope to tell you, yes, I increased by 10% again. Actually, I hope to tell you I increased by 20% again, but I'll be realistic. I'll set it for 10% like I did.
I love that. That's awesome.
But you need that. And because I have a team, and I know Becky's in the chat and she has a team, I didn't usually put that number up for my team. They're getting paid to do their job no matter what happens, good or bad. Here's what I'm paying them.
Uh-huh.
And when I showed them the number and what we needed every day, they were so excited to cross out the number from yesterday, put in the new number we needed. Oh. And when we crushed it so early in December, I'm like, what do I do now? Like we got the goal. We hit it. We hit it like mid-December. And so I said, all right, my best month ever was 13,000. Let's go for that. And then we blew past 13,000. I'm like, is 15,000 realistic? And then we blew past that. I'm like, I don't even know what to do anymore because this month of December was so amazing, but that wasn't easy. That was hustle and hard work. That was having a good team here. That was finding good products at the right prices on the right platforms. Mm-hmm. And so all the whining and crying I see on these other sites going, eBay's dead, online selling's dead. You guys are here to say, no, it's not. I know Becky Dick in the chat can say, no, it's not. I can definitely say, no, it's not, because I looked at my sales for the entire year and I am at, I had it. I know it's like 115,000 for the year.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So it can be done. I share my numbers with you. If you follow anyone else on Facebook, on YouTube, you're about to pay a course for them. If they don't share their numbers and their eBay IDs with you, they're hiding stuff.
Yeah.
Find people who will be honest with you. And look, of my 12 months last year, I actually had a month that went down. And so I had to make up that deficit. I was actually down 10%. So essentially I missed a month by 20%. That's a hell of a oops. Like what happened that month?
Yeah.
But I rebounded and I hustled and I got it back up.
I love that. And I think that really speaks to breaking a goal down and how important it is to make small goals that are attainable. Because I mean, you were just saying like your staff got so excited about crossing things off and they're playing with it instead of just looking at one big number for an entire year.
Yeah.
And that, you forget about it after a month. So if you can break it down into little small things, even if it's just you running your business, it will help you stay motivated and stay pushing towards that goal and help you blow past it.
So
Yeah.
I don't care if you are the Matt and Aaron's level, my level, Becky. I think Becky buries me in sales. My mom's level, who's part-time, or you're just starting. You should have a goal. And I want everyone to figure out their goal this weekend. It could be like, okay, I need to buy these products to make my office better, like my mom has. Or it could be like Matt and Aaron wanted to either up their game in, for example, up their game in the antique mall or get out of it. They've tried it. All right, we either have to do this or this because where we're at ain't working. It's got to go bigger or smaller.
Yep.
Right.
And so think about your goals and let's get them written down. I'll get a post in the thrifting board and we'll talk about your goals. They could be a dollar amount like mine is. That's solely my goal. My goal is always to sell more, has been. And you know, I hustle hard at it. And my wife is very, it's nice to have a cheerleader because this is a very lonely job for the most part. Even though I do have a team here, they're here in the morning and then they're gone. And then it's just me.
Just
So it's nice to get that pat in the back, but as we're a group, we can all pat each other on the back. And look, if you don't make your goals, you saw my mom miss her goals, some of her goals. You saw Matt and Aaron miss a couple of their goals. I focus on one goal, and look, I got goals. I miss goals. Like I've done a ton of sales in the VHS tapes, but it doesn't look like I've even dented it yet. We've kind of like those that got pushed to the side when we worked on Christmas stuff. So I've got my internal goals, but the number is the big goal because if I get all the other stuff done, that number is going to grow and I'm going to get to it. So,
and that's one of the nice things about the thrifting board is when you can share your goals on there, then we can read them, others can read them, and you can think of like things you completely missed because we do work in a very isolating atmosphere sometimes, and hearing some other people's input is so nice. So leave us your goals. We want to read them too.
Thanks, Joel. No puppies right now, Heather, because we're going to be living between Vegas and Phoenix. We just bought a house in Phoenix. And so right now it's a little chaotic moving between the two cities. We have no furniture yet. Our house looks like it's a kidnap scene because right now in our new house is a folding chair, a mattress on the floor, and an orange bucket from Home Depot. That's it.
Posh.
Yeah. Yeah. So once this, you know, we get the furniture down there and we kind of get into a rhythm where Stacy's like gone this amount of time, maybe. But right now it's just too much running around, getting ready. So we will.
Jason's an honorary uncle to our kids, so.
Oh yes,
he's got 3 dogs with us.
Yeah, the bucket really. The bucket added some color.
It does.
A pop of color.
Oh, Chris, he's a good designer.
So get your goals. I'll make a post this weekend. We'll get it up. Mom and I and Matt and Aaron will be the first to jump in on it and talk about, you know, we'll not rehash everything, but just like, okay, overall, here's our general goal for 2022 and, you know, work towards it. But if you miss, don't beat yourself up. We've all missed our goals. Like I said, they shouldn't be easy because an easy goal is not a goal. That's you copping out.
That's true.
Okay? But if you miss, it happens. You like Matt and Aaron did. They reevaluate. Okay, why did we miss this goal? My mom reevaluated. Why did I miss this goal? Because she didn't push purchase for 365 days.
Or you might not even care about the goal at the end. Like, I don't even do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah,
and so that's okay.
Yeah. Goals can be fluid, but if you've got that on the wall, if you're looking at it every day, I've got to get on a new plane. I've got to get a Macari today. If you guys print out like 17 Macaris and stick them around your house, it's going to drive you nuts until you get on Macari.
Oh yeah, for sure. With Depop, it was like everywhere. We'd watch the show, get on Depop. Somebody would message us, why aren't you on Depop? And finally, like, you know, 3 months later, I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Do it.
All right. So since Matt didn't watch the show the other day, my mom said she wants to buy smaller items.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, she shipped a lamp this week that's like 7 feet tall. Yeah, you know.
I mean, when you're the queen of big items, like you can't really just like that.
I know.
Every time I see something big, I'm like, oh, Peggy would like that.
So if you're that person that's never set a goal, think about this weekend. And then I've always been a proponent of this. If you put it out in front of your colleagues, your friends, the other people in the thrifting board or in the Secret Beach, you tend to want to make it more because now you've said to the world, or at least a small portion of the world, I'm going to do this.
You manifested
if
it.
You just say it to yourself sometimes and you're like, I'll get to it. But if you told 60,000 people on the thrifting board, you might be more apt to get to your goal. And look, the goal for me always is, I'm older than Matt and Aaron, and Stacy's older than me. And so retirement is on the horizon. And so the harder I hustle now, oh, yeah, that's what I forgot to share. Crap. The harder I hustle now, the better off retirement will be. So let me share this real quick with you. This is how you hustle hard. We bought those CDs and then went to dinner at a great little place called House of Pies. Yes, they have pie. And so when they sat in this booth, I noticed to the right of me, I had this big, basically shelf workspace. And I said to Stace, I go, hey, can you go grab the bags real quick that we just bought all these Christmas CDs? So here it is, December 23rd. It's like 9:30 p.m. at this point. And as I ate my Chinese chicken salad and my pie, I listed with my phone. And that is hustling to, and this is actually the first picture. I know she was taking my picture.
That's also to Stacy's patience. So good for her.
But she understood. And that's the good thing about your spouse, your partner, your life mate, whatever it is you're with, whoever you're with, they understand, look, we just bought Christmas stuff. It will sell, but we got to get listed right now. And I was going to do it in the hotel, but I'm like, I can eat a bite and then list on my phone real quick. If you're not hustling this hard at some point in your day or your week, you ain't trying. Some of us hustle every day. And like my mom and dad, they hustle a couple days a week, and that's fine. But you should hustle some point in your week.
Amen.
Weren't you listed in a car once recently?
Oh, yeah. Why this took me so long to figure out, when Stacey and I travel, we're definitely that couple that splits the driving right up, especially the long parts. Within the city, it's one thing, but the long haul to LA or to Phoenix, I do one way, she does the other. So I would source wherever we go, any place. And we get home and I'm like, all right, I'll start listing. I'm like, what about the 4 hours? Why am I not listing then? So I got my little lap desk and I got an actual plug in my truck, and I piggyback my Wi-Fi off my iPad because it's actually better to piggyback off your iPad than your iPhone because it's a bigger brain inside the iPad. And I list all the way home. And so I get home and, there's a few things I'll have to work on when I get home, but okay, put all this stuff away because it's all listed already.
Yeah, that's a nice feeling.
Yeah, time was not wasted.
I like that, Elisa. I can list them in a car. I can list them in a tiki bar. I can list them at the House of Pies. I can list them anywhere. No lies.
No lies.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good to see everybody. I missed you guys when we were kind of off for the holiday. Matt and Aaron, thank you very much for sharing your goals from last year and this year. And good to see everybody. So Sunday, Mom and I are talking about how to source in the winter months for those of you who have coldness where you're at. And then next week, we're going to talk about all the tools that eBay has to offer that apparently a lot of people don't know about, like Terapeak. So we'll make sure everyone knows. So with that, I'll say thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Bye, everybody. See you.
Bye, everybody. See you on Sunday. Stay warm, those of you on the East Coast. Bye.
Thank you.
Mwah.